But I'm thinking next week we get something funkier and dirtier. Daddy. Hey, one time my wife and I, it was crazy. All right, it may take you a while. It may take you quite a bit of time to find it. But, okay, everyone, Christ, I need some help. Can I have a heart?
Focus up. I'm talking to you, Whitney Haruza. Whitney Haruza of One Shot Charlie's. You have a big weekend coming up. I know you guys are open and you're moving right along. Jenna, why am I crooked? Am I over this way more? I'm not centered, but are you doing something with the logos? Okay. Anyway, welcome. My name is Chris Rubio, host of the Rubio Method. This is episode 100. We've hit the century mark. I can't believe it. Jenna tells me this is the 5th time she's had the thing like this. I guess I've never noticed. I've been too focused on Big Daddy right in the middle. This is going to be a good show. It's going to be a fun show. Here's what we're going to talk about. Everything happens for a reason. I'm going to talk about an extremely quirky dude that everyone needs to know about, and he just came back into the news a little bit this past couple weeks. There are winners and losers in life. We're going to talk about an 8th grade promotion trick that I don't get, and I'm going to actually need Jenna's help on this one because I don't see the issue of it. It's some sort of prank that they think they're getting all the dads, but okay. Accept and embrace. We're going to a very interesting take on the settlement of America. I'm not going to get political unless politics is about climate. Working hard is not enough. A new study about friendship confuses many, but not me at all. I aced this one. Confidence is the key. Certain adrenaline junkies are the scariest people on the planet. I'm going to show you a video and pictures of someone who I am assuming is the devil because I don't know what they're doing or how they're doing it. But Jenna, let's move right along. Everything happens for a reason. There was a college football coach named Mike Leach. He's been at Texas Tech. He was at Texas Tech. He ended out at Mississippi State. He was at Washington State. He created the air raid offense. If you don't know football that well, the air raid offense is basically there's a lot of guys going out for passes, and it's basically for nerds. You just have to be able to. It's like a math equation. This person won't be open if this person's here. This one person won't be open, but that means that person 3 has to be open. And so as long as you know the pattern, you're going to be able to complete a pass. So this is where you get guys throwing the ball like 70, 80 times a game, which is insane. And so if you're a running back, not the best for you, but if you're a quarterback, holy hell, it's absolutely fantastic. He's a very quirky human being. I'm going to show you a couple of videos about this guy. If you've never seen him, this is one where he was pissed off at his team. I think it was at Mississippi State. And he decided, you know what? You guys are so bad right now. You don't even deserve chairs on the sideline. So Jenna, can you play that video for me? This is during the game, man. This is during the game. He starts taking the chairs and he goes back and he's like, I just can't handle it. And the thing is with him, I don't think he ever played football. He was one of those guys that was just kind of maybe played, freshman or youth. I don't think he played in college. He was just one of those weird guys that was really into football and studied it. And sometimes those guys actually make better coaches where the best athletes don't necessarily make the best coaches due to the fact that they think everyone can do exactly what they do and how they do it. That's why like Magic Johnson, not a very good coach because he was so skilled and he's like, oh, I just want you to do this. Well, not everyone thinks like that. That's why you usually get a lot of these basketball coaches that are kind of nerds and they just end up doing really, really well because they didn't have the athletic ability. So they are able to convey their message, get other people to decipher what they want to talk about very easily. And you don't have to be a freak athletically. Now, don't get me wrong. It's fantastic if you're a freak athletically, but it doesn't always work out. I've met Mike Leach several times, obviously through my football connections. No big deal. Probably found out that I was on grand jury as well. And then also I was driving at the Keys. Now this guy has bar stools and like drinks named after him at the Florida Keys. If you've never been to the Florida Keys, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely phenomenal. I recommend you do this at least once where you fly into Miami, stay the night in Miami, then drive from Miami to the Keys. It's like a 3.5, 4-hour drive, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Jenna, make sure you Google that. The drive from the Miami to the Keys, it's like basically one lane going each way, and you're literally in the middle of the ocean. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. It's one of the most beautiful things you've ever can see. I'm not saying you have to do it on every single trip, but to do it at least once is phenomenal. I've done it like 8 times because we always end up going with new people and they want to do it. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll do it with you because it's fantastic. And I want to see your reaction. So one time my wife and I were driving down there, and we finally pulled up into the hotel. It's right there on the main strip. The Keys are not big. And she goes, okay, what do you want to do? We get there like at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I said, I'm looking up and I can see Mike Leach in our little lobby driveway area. I go, I'm going to go talk to Mike Leach first. She goes, what? Mike Leach? She even knew who it was. And I go, he's right there, man. And sure as hell, I park the car, get out with a bag, and he's there, not even with handlers. And this is what he's a big time football coach. Okay. Well, probably one of the top 10 college football coaches at the time. Usually they have handlers, kind of someone watching them so they don't do anything stupid, so no one harasses them. He's got like 2 college kids next to him, 2 dudes. They look like frat guys. And I walk up and I go, Leach, or Coach Leach, and he goes, Rubio. And let's just say he was having a very good time. I mean, it was 2 o'clock in the Keys, which I gotta be honest, in the Keys, that's what you do. But he was having a phenomenal time to the point where he was talking my ear off so much that I finally had to say, hey, man, I gotta go. The Queen's over there. We got to get checked in. And he's like, oh, Rubio, I'll see you later. See you later. He's telling me the history of the bar and the hotel, which is actually true. But it was phenomenal. And I've loved this guy. He passed away in 2022, had some health issues. But before I get to why they're talking about him now, all of a sudden, the reporters found out early on that this dude is out there. I mean, really out there, where they would, at the end of each press conference, you know, they're talking football, like, why didn't you score more? Why didn't you block them? Do this, blah, blah, blah. And then they would start to say like, oh, hey, Mike, what's your favorite Halloween candy? And he would go off for like 10 minutes. Or someone would say, what's the best concert you've ever been to? And he would go off for 5 to 10 minutes. And it was all really well thought out of what he's talking about. So in this clip, this is about a 2-minute long clip, so it's worth listening to. I'm telling you right now, just stay with me on this one. Someone asked him, hey, either I got engaged or my buddy got engaged. Do you have any advice? Now, this is a football coach right after a game or right after practice, and someone says, hey, do you got any advice for my buddy or me that just got engaged? Jenna, play the engagement video for me.
Lose their mind. Your fiance is going to lose her mind. Your mother-in-law is going to lose her mind. Your mom is going to lose her mind. Several of your sisters and female relatives are going to lose their mind, and they're gonna barrage you with constant questions. What should we wear? And then, which of course my answer was, I don't care. And then, what color should the invitations be? I don't care. What should we have for dessert? I don't care. Should we seat this way or that way? I don't care. But see, I don't care is not satisfactory at all. And you're going to get caught in a catch-22, and I'm certain that you already have. And that catch-22 is, well, I want you to be a part of this too. So what color invitations? All right, the blue ones. Well, I kind of like the tan ones. Okay, the tan ones then. Oh, you're just saying that because you want this over with. You're not even thinking about it, which is of course true. What do you want for dessert? I was thinking of strawberry shortcake. Oh, okay. Yeah, strawberry shortcake would be good. Well, what about the blueberry pie? Well, I like the blueberry pie. We could have the blueberry pie. Well, I thought you said you wanted the strawberry shortcake. And it's just going to go back and forth, and they're going to play keep away from you until after you're married. There's no answer you can give that is going to be satisfactory or correct. And if you successfully please a few of them, the others will still be, oh, well, I just don't feel like he's that interested. Yeah, okay, so you need to work late, go in the back room and read a lot of books, take the groomsmen out so you make sure that they march in just right and they know exactly, these swell outfits that you picked out or whatever, however you're doing it. And in the end, you'll wish you elope. You need to find excuses that they'll buy to be as far out of harm's way as you possibly can.
Okay. Now, number one, that was 2 minutes of just fantasticness. Number two, notice how it was edited down. So that the original clip was like 10 minutes long, and that's from like a decade ago. It didn't come out right now, Jenna. Jenna says that's weird how it just came out. No, that one you can search. And I'm telling you, go on and just search like Mike Leach Halloween candy. Someone asked him one time, Mike Leach, who would win out of the top college football mascots? And he goes off for like a half an hour about the Colorado Buffalo, because it's a real Buffalo. That, that would be pretty darn strong. But then you've got Joe Bruin at UCLA. Then you got a Trojan for USC. Does he really have a sword? Things like that. Okay, so he's going off. Well, it turns out his name got back in the news a couple of weeks ago because someone started talking and said, yeah, man, we ever tell you the story about Mike Leach and what the one play he wanted to run? And we all said, no, man, you can't do that. And he legit wanted to do it. Okay, so Jenna, do you have this picture of Mike Leach? So it was brought up that Mike Leach was talked down from lining up a little person in the backfield and then throwing them over the line of a scrimmage in short yardage situations. So, okay, you can go back to me, Jenna. He has a meeting with his staff, and he says, hey, what do you think about we go on campus, we find a sub 60, we find a little person, a midget, a dwarf, whatever you want to call them. We tell them they're on the team, and then we have a play where we literally just pick them up and throw them over the line. Honestly, not a bad idea, but they are very stout. I actually did talk to my go-to sub 60 Ed about this issue. Of course, I brought it up, and he said the problem is that they're very dense. Sub 60s are very dense people. And you can get a lineman, you're going to get some good throw out of them, especially if you get two. But what's going to happen? Can someone bat them down like a volleyball? That's one thing. And is there safety concern? I know he's going to have a helmet and pads on, but like if they land on their head, that's not good. And I'm not sure that they're going to be able to stop themselves the correct way. So luckily / unluckily, this play didn't get approved. You couldn't even get one to like dive under the legs because then they get stepped on. And those are some big dudes. I mean, you're looking at 350 pounds. Jenna says their necks are shorter. So that might, well, I got to pull up a picture of sub 60 and see what his neck looks like. Yeah, their necks might be shorter, but see, sub 60, and I've told this to his face, and he tells me the same thing, that we both have huge heads. So he's definitely going to be top heavy. So I think it's going to be like one of those lawn darts where you're going to have to do a certain angle of the throw, where you're going to have to almost like pop a wheelie with the throw, where you keep his butt back a little bit, because you can't throw it like this right off the bat way, because it's going to just do rotations. And that's going to be a code red. Like you can't do that. So I don't know. This guy's just a wild guy. I read one time where they were asking him, how do you pick who does the coin toss? Because he had just like one guy who never played do the coin toss at the beginning of the game. And he said, what I did was, I thought to myself, should I pick the biggest guy on the team? Because they had a guy that was like 6'10", 320 pounds, just solid muscle. And things like, wow, that's pretty damn intimidating human being. Let's do to him. He said, or should I pick the smallest guy? Because I got a guy that's 5'5", 140. And then that's the kind of like reverse intimidation factor. And then he thought to himself, hey, you know what? All I really need is someone who can master the coin toss, heads or tails. So he went around to the team and said, okay, anyone been on a game show? One guy did. He says, yeah, I've been on The Price is Right. Did you win? Yes, I did. Boom. You're doing the coin tosses. So from now on, that guy did all the coin tosses. So Mike Leach back in the news. I wanted to tell you guys that. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So everything happens for a reason. That's the reason why. Let's move on. There are winners and losers in life. Now, I don't understand this one at all. There was this viral prank going around where an 8th grade graduation, parents did it to the dads. Okay, first of all, it's pissed me off right out of the gate because 8th grade promotions are stupid. I think all graduations are stupid at this point, unless you graduate from maybe like, I guess, like top law school or medical school. But kindergarten, I refuse to even go to those. People know to not even ask me those. 5th grade, even dumber. 8th grade, even dumber. That no one needs to go to that. High school, I talked about this last time. It's not that big of an accomplishment. I really don't think you should have to do those either because they're boring. They're usually hot. No one wants to hear 75 kids try to speak and make a speech. And unless you've got rapid fire guy going, speaking, X amount of names, because our local high school, I think, has about 400 or 350 kids graduating. You got to read all 350. Like, you want to hear your own kid's name, and then who cares? Maybe a couple of his friends. No one cares. College graduation, it's too big. Do you really need to go to it? No. Okay. There were 7 people in your graduating class, Jenna. Jesus. I thought my wife's graduating class of 25 was bad, but my God, I think I had 300 in high school. That's pathetic. Was it on the set of Little House on the Prairie? Only 2 dudes? How did you do prom? What the hell? Okay, Jesus, that's just depressing. So all the graduations should be protested. They should stop them all, even college graduations, because they're too big. There's too many people, and they're just stupid. At this point, I'm this close to protesting funerals, because funerals, number one, no one really likes to go to those except for really old people, just because they want to see, their buddy for one last time, and for some reason they like them. Number two, they're not fun. I mean, I get it, someone's dead, but the only way I'm going is at this point is if it's like, I know it's going to be a party, like not even the memorial type thing. I want it to be like, they know it's a, hey, sorry, Johnny went down, let's party. That's about the extent of the funeral that I go to. This is no joke. I even have in my insurance policy, this is not a joke, I have an extra bit of money put away for my quote unquote funeral because I want it to be a party. Not even joking. And my insurance guy goes, you seriously want X amount just for your funeral? I go, 1,000%. I want it to be a great time. Everyone's talking about Rubio doing whatever they're doing. I don't want any sadness. Let it rain. I want everyone to have a phenomenal time. So in my insurance clause, I literally have money put away just for a party. And I think I actually wrote party on it because I don't want a funeral. Jenna agrees with me 100%, excuse me, not 1,000%. All right. So Jenna, let's play this video. I took the sound off because they had some music and I didn't want to get YouTube written up on me. So play the video of the purple shirts. Jenna, can they hear me right now? Okay, so what you're seeing, or if you're on Spotify or iTunes, it says t-shirt prank next level. Over 40 dads at an 8th grade promotion. Reactions are priceless. And you see these guys walking through one at a time, all walking into this, I guess, middle school gym, and they're all wearing the same purplish polo shirt. It's like I don't know what to call it. It looks like a golf polo. Okay. Under Armour golf polo. You got some big dudes. You got some small dudes. You got some bearded dudes. You got some black dudes. You got some white dudes. Okay. And it's just, there it is. All right. And everyone's, ha ha, waka waka. This is so funny. And they're showing all the dads, and they all seem to be having a good time. And then they're going to take a photo right at the end where they all 40 of them line up together. Okay. I guarantee not one dad gave a shit. I wouldn't care. I would say this is fantastic. Number one, I've literally gone up to people before that I've seen in public. Like I just literally did it on an airplane a couple of weeks ago. I was wearing a certain sweater, and the guy had the exact same sweater on as me. And I go, phenomenal sweater. And he goes, dude, you look fantastic. Now, I'm assuming chicks don't do that because my wife was like, I can't believe you talked to that guy. You guys are wearing the same sweater. I go, that's literally why I did talk to him, because his fashion sense is so heightened and fantastic. But number one, I see no issue. I guarantee the dads didn't care. I wouldn't care at all. I'm at the point now where when I get dressed, I just tell my wife, pick out what you want me to wear. And her rule is like, just make it comfy, because she likes me to wear like tighter stuff. And I'm not wearing like European skinny jeans. No one wants to see a big guy in those. And I don't want to see, this. I'm not into tight clothing. If it was me, I would be wearing sweats and probably a hoodie every single day. And you're thinking, okay, Rubio, what was hot? I turned the AC on about 55. And then I would wear a hoodie and some sweats, because you know why? Because they're comfy. Everyone wants to be comfy. Okay. But that's my point. Who are you dressing up for? These dudes, they're not dressing up for the other dude. And I think that's the difference between chicks and dudes, is chicks tend to dress up for the other girls to get, oh my God, where'd you get that? TJ Maxx, Ross, Nordstrom. I don't know where you guys shop. Okay. But I want my wife to see me in what my best is, or what she thinks my best is. So if she thinks I look good in a purple shirt, which I've never worn purple, but I think with my skin tone, I probably would look pretty sharp. Plus I've been on grand jury. I don't understand what the prank is. Like Jenna says it's a stupid prank as well. But to me, it's like the same thing with women and shoes. Like my wife always says, like, what shoes should I wear? And every single time I respond, wear whatever shoes are the most comfortable for you. I don't have a foot fetish. I'm not looking at your feet. I don't even know if you've got 5 toes on each foot, because I don't care. I just know they hold you up. So what shoes do you wear? Wear slippers. Wear sandals. Okay, don't wear the Ugg boots because you look like a gnome because you're shorter. But just wear something comfy. Like I don't care, because if you wear something uncomfy, guess what? The dude's gonna have to end up carrying them the whole time anyway. So, and unless you got a big foot fetish as a dude, are you really caring? I couldn't even tell you the last time, 4 times my wife's gone out. I couldn't even tell you what shoes she's wearing. High heels, normal shoes, sandals. I just don't look that direction. I don't care. So to me, and Jen agrees with me, stupid prank. It didn't serve its purpose. It's just dumb. I don't get it. Let's move on. Accept and embrace. There's I think it's actually the #1 podcast besides Joe Rogan. So it's #2. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. They had a video where he offered up a very interesting question. This one won't take that long, but it's one of those where if you really start to think about it, it's got a good point. Jenna, play the Clay Travis video.
Is interesting. If the country had been settled west to east, would anyone live in the Northeast? Think about it. Think about it. Now, you could make an argument. You could make an argument that people would have never left the West Coast because they'd have been like, it's perfect here. It's like the Garden of Eden in much of it. But I would submit to you that if we had settled the country west to east, the least populated place in the entire United States would actually be the North.
He's 100% correct. It's the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. It's a little political, mostly political. Then it just dives off into sports and all that good stuff. It's very, very good. He's 100% correct. And if you say he's wrong, you've obviously never been to the Northeast or even the Southeast, because you don't understand it. But like, I grew up in Southern California. The weather is phenomenal. I went to school at UCLA. It's basically West Los Angeles. It's about, let's say, 6 miles from the beach. A hot day at UCLA was 78. A cold day at UCLA was 68. That was it. And so now I live in upper northern Idaho. So we've got 4 seasons here. We're in California. You got 1 season. It's just basically summerish, springish the entire time. It gets a little warmer when you go inland, but like if you're near the beach, it's phenomenal at all times. So would anyone go to the Northeast? No, you would not. Because in the winter, oh my God, you're going to die. It's so cold. And in the summer, it's humid. And for those of you that have never experienced humidity, here's the easiest way. Okay. I want you to picture a man who, let's say he's 5'2", and this man weighs 500 pounds. Okay. 5'2", 500 pounds. You got a good visual of this thing? Now imagine somehow, some way, this dude's got to jog for like 10 miles straight. You got his legs moving. I don't care how bad his heart is. He's got to jog for 10 miles straight, and it's hot. So this is a sweaty 5'2", 500 pound human being. I mean, he's disgustingly sweaty. I want you to go live in his belly button for the next hour. That's what humidity is like. Perfect example of it. Okay. If you've ever been in humidity, you know it's disgusting. I'm from California, and then like I said, I'm living in northern Idaho right now. So there's zero humidity. I mean, I think the highest it gets is like 40%. And then you go back to the South, and everyone in the South has heard me talk about this all the time. Number one, I think I'm allergic to it. I think I'm the only and first case to be allergic to humidity. The first time I ever experienced it, I was in North Carolina running a camp, and we were on a grass field. And if it's grass, it's going to be more humid. That soaks up the moisture. And there was like basically a forest around us, and I'd never experienced humidity. And so I'm sitting down checking people in, and all of a sudden I start sweating, and I don't have any hair. Okay. And once you start sweating, you're hot. So you drink water. But when you don't have any hair and it's humid, you start sweating more. So you drink it in and just pours out of you. And the guy that I was with goes, "Hey, are you okay?" And I go, he goes, you kind of look like a crackhead right now. And I go, I feel like a crackhead. I don't even, what's happening? What's the sensation as I'm chewing on the air? He goes, "That's humidity, dude. You've never been around humidity." I go, "No, this is the worst thing ever." I've gone to restaurants at, where was it? Baton Rouge. And we went there with a couple coaches, just like an Applebee's or something. Got there at 8 o'clock at night. It's still 1,000 degrees, 500% humidity. Everyone's dying. And the people say, the hostess, "Would you like to sit inside or outside?" Who the hell chooses outside? And the sad thing is, there's a lot of people that do. I said, my quote is literally, "Wherever there's a vent, put me under the vent. If there's a vent coming from the ground, sit me on the vent. I'll sit crisscross, applesauce, Indian style, whatever you want to call it." I'm not doing that. I'm not chewing on the air. I'm not drinking through a coffee stirrer. I'm not living in a man's belly button. It's disgusting. So I don't understand it. So the answer to me is, would anyone live in the Northeast? No, absolutely not. You would stay in California. California would be probably the most populated state, which I think it is right now. But no one would ever go past Arizona, because you go to Arizona, and you're like, "Oh my God, it's 1,000 degrees here." Arizona is one of those places that it's so hot. I've been there, and you don't sweat. Jenna, have you ever been to Arizona? Where you don't sweat, it just turns into salt. because it's too hot to sweat. As soon as you sweat, it dries. So, that's the pit of hell as well. So I don't know. We move on. Working hard is not enough. Jenna, you have this picture. There's a new study out. And it finds that friends who playfully insult each other are 300% more honest and loyal. It's the hangover picture. Study finds friends who playfully insult each other are 300% more honest and loyal. This is a new study out of Chicago or something like that. There it is. Study finds friends who playfully insult each other are 300% more honest and loyal. Yeah, no kidding. Is this really a mystery? Okay. Everyone has these type of friends. If you don't have real friends. I've got several friends that are as rude to me as possible, but I know if I called them in the middle of the night and said, hey man, I need $200, I'm in jail, they'd be the first ones there. I guarantee it. Okay. And I'm one of those people too, that I'm over the top, brutally honest with people, where I get in trouble with it sometimes, where like, if I see someone, or let's say I'm sitting next to someone on a plane and my rules where I don't want to talk to them, but say it's a woman and she's eating and she's got all of a sudden lipstick on her cheek. I'll tell her, you got lipstick on your cheek, or lipstick on her teeth, or someone's eating, we're, talking wherever we are at a meeting and I see they've got broccoli in their teeth. I'll tell them, did you got broccoli in your teeth? Why would you want someone to tell you? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I want to tell someone else? Because if not, they're going to look like an idiot for the next 2 hours. If I see a dude with a zipper down, I go right up to him. I go, dude, your zipper's down. I don't know what to tell you. You look like an idiot. Or you got toilet paper stuck on your shoe. So I don't know what to tell you. This brings up the point of like, if you've ever had friends or relatives that say, can I be honest with you? Number one, that is stupid. Because number two, if you're asking, can I be honest with you? That means what you've been doing the entire time has been dishonest with me. So if you're asking, can I be honest with you? That means you've been lying to me the whole time before that. I don't think I'm wrong on that one. In my opinion, I want my closest friends to be brutally honest with you. Brutally honest. If they're not brutally honest with you, they're not really a good close friend, because then they're lying to you. And would you really want someone to lie to you? Like if you're wearing something and you come out and you're like, Jesus, you're really going with that flowered sweater, Rubio? Why? It doesn't look good? No, you look like an idiot. Okay, well, yeah, perfect example. I didn't even have this written down. Jenna, you be my eyes and ears on this one. I was at a football game with my wife a couple weeks ago. I've told this story about 10 times, so she's already heard it. So in case you guys want to tattle on me, I look over at her during the game and I double take. I've got sunglasses on. I take my sunglasses off. I go, do you? What did you just do? She goes, what do you mean? I go, did you just put on lipstick? She says, yeah. I go, is there glitter in the lipstick? She goes, well, yeah. I go, hey, Punky Brewster, what are you, in 8th grade? I go, well, no one wears glitter on lipstick. She goes, well, I think it's a thing now. I go, no, it's not. 8th grade play of Annie. No, it's not. I don't know who told you it is, but you got to get rid of that stuff. No one puts glitter on a lipstick of someone above 11 years old, and you're not on the set of growing pains or something. Okay. Nanamona, this is deep stuff. Well, Nanamona, don't put on glitter lipstick. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, someone has to tell you the harsh things or you will never be fixed. Side note, my wife doesn't wear that lipstick anymore. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it goes back to me never getting offended. I don't know. Jenna says that's why she has so many friends. I don't know if she's being sarcastic or not, but it's one of those things where I've got a good group of friends. I've got some friends that are overly mean, some that are not too mean, some that are not really mean at all. But if I'm not ripping on a person, okay, and you've heard me rip on 1,000 people on this show, if I'm not ripping on the person, it usually means that I just don't care. I don't care about them. They're irrelevant to me. So if you and I are ever hanging out and you see me ripping on you, that's a good thing. I promise you 100% it's a good thing. All right, so let's move on. Confidence is the key. All right, this one makes me uncomfortable. And it all stems back to when I had my MRI done. Girls, Jenna says girls don't like when you tell them their hairstyle is not that good. A girl telling a girl or a dude telling a girl, because I would never tell a girl about her hair because I don't. My only thing with girls' hair is I'm really into it being long. I don't like it when they cut it too short. unless you're like a freak hotness, like someone like a Halle Berry or something like that, where you can rock the like almost a dude haircut, don't cut it so much. And my wife and I had this argument. It wasn't really an argument, it was a discussion. At what point do chicks stop dyeing their hair? Because I think it kind of looks cool when you get like an older lady, say 65, 70, 75, and they've got longer hair and it's gray. It's like, because if you're 75 or 80, everyone knows you don't have jet black hair anymore, man. Okay. It's one of those things. Depends on if you have money. So if you have money, you were saying you just keep dyeing your hair forever. So you're 97 years old and you're dyeing your hair jet black, but you're 97 years old. See, doesn't that's, it costs about $300 to dye hair. Jesus. Okay. No, that's stupid. For what? Just to dye it? That seems like a lot. And it's got to be more per hair. Like if you've got short hair, I'm assuming it's less. If you've got long hair, Jenna, I don't even know if I've ever even seen your hair, what it looks like. Unless you want to go to Walmart and buy a box. Oh, you can do it yourself? Oh, okay. Well, I think that would be the way to do it. Okay. You're still the top banana. Thank you, Donovan. I appreciate that. So the confidence is the key story. It's frightening me. And it all goes back to when I hurt my back playing football. And I've told you this story, but for all the new watchers and listeners on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, iTunes, and Spotify, I had hurt my back my junior year at UCLA. I was running around. We were doing this drill where you had to basically run 100 yards of the football field, go 50, and then come back the other 100. And had my back been hurting for a while, but I was 21, 22 years old. And I just figured, oh, I play football, so my back should hurt. This is what's going on. And I'd done the thing where I would take a step with my left leg going down a stairs and I couldn't feel the stair. And I'd have lightning basically going from my hip all the way down my back, all the way into my toes. And you're 21, you're 22 years old. You're basically an idiot. And I would say, oh, this is just normal. So finally I'm running around doing this turn, and boom, I fall down. And I always say it looked like the buffalo who got shot in Dance with the Wolves, where the buffalo gets hit and just doom, 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 doom. And the trainers come out and they're like, Rubio, what happened? I go, like I couldn't breathe. And I just, I'm not petite at that point. I'm probably about 270, 280. And they say, what's the matter? I go, something's wrong. Something's really wrong with my back. And they're like, okay. So they have to go get an MRI. And like I said, I was a bigger guy. So if you've ever been to an MRI, it's like sliding yourself into a, I guess, metal plastic condom of hell. It's the worst thing you've ever experienced, and you don't really fit well. And so I went in there like this, arms to the side, and then I'm going in, and all of a sudden, boom, my shoulders hit. Boom, my shoulders hit. And the lady says, hey man, you gotta thin up. Okay, what do you want me to do? Jazzercise right now? You want me to do some Jane Fonda aerobics? How am I going to fit up in the next 4 seconds? She says, okay, if you can't fit, where there's another way to do it, you got to put your arms above your head, like you're diving into a pool. But then we got to get your whole body in there. And I'm looking at this metal tube of hell, and I go, I'm not doing that. She goes, well, if you don't do that, we got to take you to the vet, the vet one where they do the cows and the horses, because your fat ass will fit in that. Okay, that's even too humiliating for me. So I said, I guess we'll do this. And she says, of course, when you get in, don't open your eyes. Don't open your eyes. I get pushed into this hell, and it's the most obnoxious thing you've ever seen, where it's da 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 da, and it's hot and it's loud and it's bright. And of course, being 21, 22, they say, don't open your eyes. So what is the first thing I do? I open my eyes, and the barrier wall is probably an inch or two from my face. And so immediately I'm like, you're in a tomb. And the lady grabs my hand. She goes, don't move, because if you move, we got to start over. And you're going to be in here for like 35, 40 minutes. So I said, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. So ever since then, I've had a little bit of a claustrophobic issue. Like even now when I'm in a plane, if I'm in a plane and I really think about what I'm doing, like, okay, I'm in a tube about, say, 100 feet long. It's in metal and it's 30,000 feet in the air. This is not good. So I have to not overthink it. I'm watching my movies, doing what I got to do, not thinking that I'm in this metal tube of hell, just like a bigger MRI machine. So there's this new videos going around, these adrenaline junkies, where they go cave diving, where they find a cave, and not talking like a bat cave. where they have this big cave where you kind of walk through and you see spelunkers or stalactites or stalagmites. I don't know. I'm not a whatever those people are. But Jenna, play the cave video.
I kept pushing as I thought it was going to get wider. But as I'm getting closer, I realized it's an illusion. The water was just so calm and still above me that it was reflecting the ceiling off, and it just looked like a way bigger space. But it's continuing to narrow down. It's been like an off and on raining type of day. If it floods at all, I'm done for. So I'm gonna attempt to turn back around, even though I don't know if I can.
I'm so out. Like, I don't even understand. I mean, I get the adrenaline type thing. Okay, rah, rah, rah. But dude, you're going down in this thing. You don't know what's going on down there. You don't know what kind of weird ass things are in the water. Karita Kalkin says, no way, triple no way. Okay, you don't. And then there was like, do you see the little flies or ticks or fleas or whatever's going around there? I'm out. Like, say this guy gets a scratch just above the bottom of his ass crack. What's he can't itch it? Or he gets an itch on the bottom of his hoof. Can he itch it? No. So he just dies of scratch pain. Like, what are you doing? Why is this a thing? And then for some reason, okay, absolutely not. Genevieve Allen says, yeah, no. And then for some reason, okay, once you like look up something or you focus on that video for like more than 2 seconds on social media, other things start to pop up about cave stuff. And then I saw this one famous case where this guy died this way. Jenna, pull up the nightmare fuel pic. This is one where it haunts me. Like, okay, so this guy, you can see for all those listening on Spotify and iTunes, he's kind of just crawling through doing his thing. And he says, oh, look, it goes down. I'm going to try to go down that way. And so then he goes down. Let's say he's a 6-foot dude. It's like a 5'5" narrow hole. So now his head is basically pinned underneath. He can't move his arms. The entrance to the hole is right at basically his shins. This guy's screwed. So he literally can't push himself out. And even if he did push himself out, he's not going to be able to manipulate his knees to go the opposite way to back his ass out of there. So, okay, that is literally my hell. So that guy, you're gonna die. So let's say he's got obviously no water, no food. You can't get to it anyway. If it's in his pocket, he's got a granola bar or something like that. Do I bring up the question of like what happens if he has to take a piss or a crap? Okay, Jenna says you wait to stop breathing. Like, no, but you can't just stop breathing. You got to like die of starvation or fluids or something. I think that's like 4 or 5 days. So for 4 or 5 days, this dude has to sit like this, and it's got to be a dude because chicks wouldn't be that stupid to do that. Only a dude would. Like, so that's got to be the worst death ever. I used to think like getting burned alive, but that would be, I mean, ow. But that's going to be what, a minute? This dude's looking at, let's say, a school week of hell. I mean, you're just pissing on yourself. You're crapping on yourself. You can't eat. Okay, being upside down that long, wouldn't he pass out? Yeah, but see, I don't know if he passes out, Karita, is that better or worse? Because if he passes out, does his oxygen level go lower so that he's going to live longer? Because passing out, he's not going to die, but his head is the blood is going to rush to his head. So that's going to be friggin' even more miserable. What a jackass. Like, you'd almost have to have that thing that they had in the movie Contact. And I don't know if they really do have it, but give it the astronauts, where she had this pill, like, because she was going to go through like 7 black holes or something like that. This pill where if she took it, game over. It killed her instantly, no pain. You'd almost have to have one of those if you're one of these cave people, because say you get stuck in that situation, you can't get a gun because you can't reach your hand. You can't reach your pocket. Can you? I mean, could you bite off your own tongue and then try to choke on it? I mean, that would suck too. I mean, can you hold? You can't hold your breath to kill yourself. There's got to be a way your body stops that. Jenna, Google, see if you can say waiting to stop breathing. But I don't think you stop breathing. I think it's one of those you got to die of starvation or just being miserable. What a jackass. Okay, and I'm all for adrenaline, but what are you doing? And then it took me down another one. Jenna, you have the video of Spider-Man, dude? This guy just starts climbing buildings like skyscrapers with nothing. Jenna, you have the Spider-Man video?
I can barely fit my hands. It's gone, my pinky. The strap of my pinky is gone. 8 floors left.
Why? Like, as you guys know, I'm not into pain. You know why your pinkies don't fit in that little area? Because they're not meant to. Your pinkies aren't meant to go there, man. You're not supposed to be holding on 12 flights up with no rope, no nothing. The window washer should be there on their little swingy thing, strapped up all over the place. What are you doing? And you know, if you slip, it's game over. It's not like you can just, oh, I slipped a little bit. Oh, I'm on a slanted roof. Let me just stop myself with my hoofs. No, you're done. It's boom, splatter, game over. Okay. And then it brought me to the movie Free Solo. If you have any issues with anything that I've shown you so far, I highly recommend you do not watch this movie called Free Solo. It's a documentary on this dude. I think he's got Asperger's or a splash of something where he's just like one of those guys that's just kind of focused and he gets a little bit weird. I think he's like Elon, a splash of autism or something like that. And he does free solo climbs, and Disney made a movie about him. I watched it one time and my hands, I'm not joking, were literally sweating because I was so nervous because this guy does free solo climbs of the top mountains. Okay. And it's one of those where there's no carabiners, there's no rope, there's none of this, blah, 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 blah. He's just him, a little bag of chalk, and he goes for it. And I think there's like, say, 20 top mountains to do. He's the only one left because, shocking, everyone dies. No kidding, dumbass. Because if you fall, you're going to die, number one. And number two, it's not going to be a comfortable death. It's like people in Idaho. You don't have to wear a motorcycle helmet here. Why would you choose not to? Because, okay, you want your hair in the wind or something like that, and you want to look cool. If you crash on a motorcycle with no helmet, at the best case scenario, you're disfigured. Your face is running along asphalt, and then you look like, who knows what. Or in worst case scenario, you die and your head explodes. So play this Free Solo promo video. This is the promo for Free Solo. Go ahead, Jenna.
Does it feel different to be up there without a rope?
El Cap is the most impressive wall on Earth. It's 3,200 feet of sheer granite.
It is hard to imagine somebody up there by themselves.
What if I don't see him again?
You face your fear until it's just not scary anymore.
No. I understand. I'm not into pain. If you fall, it's game over. Plus, it's not even a good game over. At least the dude, that Spider-Man dude who was on the building, he's probably going to have a heart attack on the way down because, I'm dying. Okay. But when he hits, he's not going to feel that. It's going to be boom, splatter. Everything's coming out of every orifice. This dude slips. He's like a Plinko chip, rubbing his face, his butt, his face, his shins, just going down until he gets like just crumples onto a rock heap. No, I just don't understand it at all. It makes me very uncomfortable. We got to move on. Let's move on, Jenna. Confident, or we did confidence is key. The bottom line, we're already here. The bottom line for all you new listeners and watchers on YouTube, LinkedIn, Spotify, iTunes, X, and Facebook. The bottom line is all the stuff you should have learned without even realizing you learned it. Number one, remember who you were impressing. This goes back to the dressing thing. Okay. Remember who you're impressing. I'm dressing for my wife. Yes, I'd like to be comfortable, but I just let her pick. What do I care? As long as it's not something tight, super tight, I'll wear it. What do I care? Number two, humidity and cave diving are the worst things ever. So I'm just saying, humidity and cave diving. Oh God, can you imagine if you were cave diving and it was humid? Oh, good God. And number three, the quote unquote ruder you are, the better you are, which is great for me. The ruder you are, the better you are, which is great for me. That's all of the show today. We did 100 shows. I want to shout out to Jenna for producing pretty much, I'd say, the heavy majority of them. We bounced around a little bit at the beginning. We made it to 100. I never thought I would make it to 100. I want to thank everyone for watching, sharing, commenting, all those good things. I know a lot of people watch for different reasons. Some people like it when I get a little bit more political. Some people like it when I don't get political. I kind of backed off the politics thing a little bit because with El Trumpo in the office, he's such a polarizing figure that even though, like I've said before, he could walk on water and half the population would say it's because he can't swim. He could cure cancer, and they'd say, look at all the jobs he put out. There's no more doctors. Thank you. Thank you, little buddy. Korea says, congratulations on the 100 show, big buddy. No problem. Thank you. And so it's one of those where I was actually talking to one of my good friends who's very against him. And we both are very adamant about the time change. Like right now in Idaho, it gets dark about 9 p.m. because of the time change, spring ahead, fall forward, whatever it's called. And I think it's fantastic. I would keep it like this year round because in Idaho in the winter, because we're so north, and Jenna, you probably get it worse, it gets dark at like 3:45. And so the whole day feels gone. Like it's sunny from like 8 to 4. And then, but now it's sunny right now, probably I would say about 5:15 in the morning. The sun comes up and it's sunny until about 9:15, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And so he is someone that I know is adamant about this. And there was an article that said, hey, El Trumpo is looking to do the daylight saving time permanently. And I said it to him, and I said, hey, look, there's finally something we can agree on. And he said, oh, he'll just switch his mind later. And then I thought to myself, you know what? It's not worth me even talking to him about because he's just never going to give the dude any credit. And it's one of those things that it's just wild. So that's why I've stepped back a little bit. Politics. It's not worth my time talking to certain people about it. It's because they're too stubborn in their own way. And you can believe what you want to believe. That's fine. That's why I like to have discussions. And that's why we have the Decade Show that'll be on next Tuesday. And speaking of shows, don't forget, you got AC Sports Live tonight at 9, excuse me. And then at 9:30, you've got The Ride with Chevy and Nasty. They both do a phenomenal job on their shows. One's at 9, one's at 9:30. These are Pacific times, obviously. As for the future of this show, how much more are we going to do? I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to try to do a little bit more. I might take a couple weeks off, just like I did last time. If I find something that becomes very interesting to me where I really want to talk about it, I'll keep going with the show. A lot of it depends on sponsors as well. I want to thank Artbeat and One Shot Charlie's for sponsoring the first 100 shows. That was great of them. I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, once again, I want to thank Jenna for all that she's done and all the people that have watched it. On that note, Jenna, I'm out.
Thanks for watching The Rubio Method. Be sure to spread the word. And don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook.